Now up in Delaware, we had a great chance to see some really good teams in the 3A go at it tonight.
That's right. Middletown is just back from playing IMG Academy in Florida. IMG, who actually just beat a team 96-0, and that game was called in the first half. Those are the type of teams that Middletown is playing this year. They're the defending 3A state champions, and tonight the Knights welcome them into the Castle in Georgetown. Central stuck with the Cavaliers early on. TJ Morris looking long. Freshman Will Harmon. This kid's going to be a big-time player. He already is. Big play that led to 3 for the Knights. Middletown's offense responding quickly. It's Austin Troyer out to Noah Crasilla, and he is in for the touchdown, and that gives Middletown 7-3 lead. Central with problems all night, fumbling the football. This time, the Cavaliers recover, and they would get it back on offense. That led to a Mackay Walker score in short yardage. 14-3, Middletown led at that point.
But Central is coming right back. Short yardage play, you're going to see Christopher Shields. He's going to get the rock, and he's going to muscle it in for 6. He gets that pigskin in, and that brought the Knights within 4. But the Cavaliers come right back as Crasilla with a long catch and run to bring Middletown into the red zone. And here's another Middletown touchdown right before half. The Cavaliers end up winning big in the second half. Obviously, things changed. They win 42-16. I know you had mentioned earlier that this was a matchup that potentially could be a state title matchup, but you can kind of see the difference between Middletown and Central, and that was definitely a good example of that tonight.
Yeah, Central kept with them early on, but I got to tell you, this is a totally different Central team than we've seen in even just a few weeks ago, because we've seen a couple of big-time injuries for the Knights recently. PJ Henry, I should say, their number 1 running back, injured in last week's game against St. George's, a game they only won by 5 points. And then Reef Steen, a standout wide receiver for the Knights. Those are 2 huge key injuries for that Knights offense. PJ Henry has so much speed, and he's their number 1 back. And that's an offense that is predicated with the wing offense on their ground attack. I mean, they've got some other really good running backs like Andrew Long, but that's going to be a big-time loss. Right. Losing Reef Steen, that connection that he has with TJ Morris, they're both seniors. You can't replicate that chemistry overnight with other receivers.
Losing a lot of skill positions like that this late in the season can really derail an entire year for a lot of teams.
It can, and the Knights were 7-1 coming into this game. They're 7-2 now. They have a couple of weeks to get ready. More than likely, they are into the 3A playoffs. We'll see who they match up with in round 1. But right now, they're just going to try and figure out what to do with that offensive scheme.
Right. It's just really important when you lose those type of players. You got to find guys that can kind of fill that role, especially this late in the year. It's all about who
steps up.
Right. You got to step up, find some kids to step up. That's why the team is so big. But losing that much firepower is definitely not a good thing that the Central didn't want to have to deal with. But it is. That's what part of football is, dealing with injuries and stuff like that.
Right.
And, the Cavaliers, they were really, really good. I mean, they're the defending state champs for a reason. But Central played as well as you could have under those circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on now to another big game in the 3A. We're talking about Cape Henlopen and St. George's in Lewis. Broken play here. It's quarterback Joe Kovaleski mishandling the snap, but gets it out to his wide receiver, Lucas Stevenson, up the sidelines for the touchdown. St. George's Donovan Brooks sends it outside for a short touchdown by Kwame Miller. Handoff now to Reginald Leah, who fumbles the ball. That ball's on the turf, recovered by Cape, and there goes L.T. Messick. But it was Donovan Brooks who rushed it in for a touchdown to take the lead, and St. George's defense would actually hold on to win this game. This is kind of a stunner right here. St. George's comes down from Newcastle County, and they're able to deliver a punch to Cape Henlopen, 28-19, your final score.
Well, let's talk about 2 teams that I think it was a widely expected game that the right team won. Laurel facing off against Indian River. Laurel running out of the tunnel. They came out hot. Caden Shockley passes up the middle to Brady Lee with a ton of separation. He takes it to the house to strike first. Kylese Wilson is going to take the pitch on their next possession. The Bulldogs were having their way with IR. Wilson runs one in right here. He's going to score that one easily. It was Bulldogs defense. They were putting in work as well, just like the offense, grabbing a fumble off the mishandled snap in enemy territory. And how about this? For an angry run, Kyle Brandt Kylese Wilson barrels over the defender for a second touchdown of the night. Look at this strength
He's
right
one
here.
of the top running backs in the state of Delaware
Boom!
as well.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that. That's like a game of Madden right there in real life. The Bulldogs win in a dominant fashion, 56-14.
My goodness, that is a Bulldog run right there. How about a game between Dover and Salesianum in Wilmington tonight? The Sal's up 16-0 when we pick things up. But here come the Senators. Jaquan Kilby scoring a 1-yard run. And this 2-point try is good here. Lead's cut in half at the end of the third quarter. To the fourth now, Senators block a 49-yard Sally's field goal. Tamir Darden Jefferson returns it for a touchdown. 2-point try here by John Parker is good. And we were all tied at 16. Unfortunately, the Senators fall just short as Sally's would end up getting a safety. But Dover showed a lot of heart tonight against one of the top teams in the 3A. Now let's move on to some other scores from around the Henlopen as Smyrna downs Appoquinimink 52-12. Get this. You talk about finishing strong. Smyrna with 30 consecutive unanswered points to end this one. Odessa beats Seaford.
Wow.
We did not see this one coming. Odessa wins 14-7. What happened to Seaford's offense?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's incredible. Woodbridge falling to Red Lion. This was a close game for much of it. But then Red Lion goes out there and scores 61.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that by the final result.
A week after Lake Forest put up 58 on the Blue Raiders, and then Lake Forest downing Delmar 49-7. This was a game with playoff implications, and Lake Forest went out there and basically took the bull by the horns in that one.
Yeah, they sure did. And you asked a great question, what's going on with the Seaford's Blue Jays offense? I mean, they've only scored 7 points in this game today against Odessa. It was a very, very tough loss for them. But again, the Spartans are a team that's been pretty good so far in these past couple games. I know you're very impressed with Lake Forest.
Yeah, I am very impressed with Lake Forest. They're one of the top offenses in the state. They've got a veteran group, and I really like Lake Forest going into the 2A playoffs. We're being told to wrap things up. We got to send things to break. Chief Meteorologist Rich Werdzik will be back with a look at your DSI forecast.
Hi, I'm Joey Jones from Laurel High School Football, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.